My hair is so light and I am so tan. This is not what I normally look like. Ask Jesus. All right, let's go. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Catherine and today we're going to be talking about something painful that everyone experiences, and that is loneliness. Let's talk about how to cope with loneliness. It's not going to be just the generic, oh, journal and pray and ooh, blah, blah, blah. No, let's actually dive into some concrete ways that we can solve loneliness. The first of which being, you guys, do not have yourself a pity party. It's okay to be lonely. It is not okay to wallow in your loneliness. That is what the devil wants. He wants you to have a pity party. He wants you to resent God for your position in life. He wants you to resent God for having no friends or not being married or what have you. Do not fall into this trap. Please do not fall into this trap. Take your loneliness and embrace it. Something you want to be really cognizant of if you are lonely is how to self-soothe. All right, so this is a big problem I find with a lot of children today. Now, I am not a parent. I am not judging anyone's parenting skills. I'm not judging anyone. I'm not going there. But I have a brother that's 15 years younger than me. So many times we would be out at a restaurant. He would start getting rambunctious, and we would give him like our iPhone or our iPad, and he would watch games and do all that stuff. And he wouldn't necessarily be learning how to self-soothe. Now, of course, one time we were in a restaurant, he was acting rambunctious. My dad gave him a spoon, and he was playing with that spoon the whole time. I really find we do this as adults. Like, even if we didn't grow up with iPads and stuff as babies, as adults, what do I do when I feel lonely? I watch a ton of YouTube, like not just Catholic YouTube. I watch tons of YouTube, film critiques, all that stuff, and they're kind of funny and they're enjoyable. I have found myself starting to rewatch YouTube videos on film critiques, which why am I rewatching that? That's so silly. I'm escaping my loneliness through media, through scrolling through social media, through watching TV, through rewatching TV. It's so unhealthy to do this every single day. I'm trying to replace all this media I'm just consuming and escaping with into books, into reading, into prayer, into asking Jesus, into journaling. I always journal, but I could journal so much more. I always pray, but I could pray so much more. I want to take this time of being lonely and alone and single, and I want to pray for my future spouse, pray for my future children, pray for my future grandchildren, pray for people I haven't met yet, pray for my friends I haven't thought of in a long time. Take this time and give it to God, okay? We can't be escaping. We need to be self-soothing. I'm going to sneeze. We need to learn how to self-soothe, just like children need to learn how to self-soothe. I have forgotten how to self-soothe. I just watch tons of YouTube all day, okay? Unless you're watching my YouTube, don't be watching Friends of YouTube all day, all right? Don't do that. Let's get back to when we could just take a simple spoon and be entertained for hours. Okay, maybe not a spoon, but it's okay to be alone with your thoughts. I'm afraid of my thoughts. I don't want to be alone with my thoughts. No, I want to learn to be okay with my own thoughts, whether it's through journaling or reading or what have you, whether it's through going on a walk without your headphones in. I realized every time I was walking around my absolutely beautiful neighborhood, instead of just listening to media or my headphones while I'm walking, even if it's Michael Schmidt's Bible in Your podcast, I don't want to be listening to that all the time. I want to listen to the sounds of my neighborhood, listen to just what's in my mind. I can't be afraid of my thoughts. So stop escaping all the time and start just living in the moment. Embrace this time. Don't be afraid of being alone. Do not wallow in the loneliness. This is temporary. There are so many ways that, unfortunately, I am lonely and I have learned to cope with it and embrace it. And I am very positive that I'm trying to make a positive impact on the people around me through my loneliness. So, for example, I am a single person in her late 20s. I am not married. My loneliness is at its worst when I am trying to fall asleep. I have terrible insomnia, and falling asleep is honestly one of the worst parts of my days. I take all these supplements, medication, everything for it. But I digress. I lie in bed and I know that there will be a time in my life where I'm going to miss going to bed by myself. Yes. Honest to God, I believe that. I do believe one day I will be married with kids, and there will be a time maybe I am sleeping next to a husband and he is snoring horribly and it is just awful. I'm going to miss when I had this giant bed to myself. Or maybe I'll have children and they're going to come in and bother me. I am going to miss when I had this room, this bed, this apartment to myself. I do have a roommate, but yeah, pretty much to myself. So recognize that your loneliness is hopefully very, very, very temporary. And even if you are married and you have kids, you can still be lonely. You can be around people all day and be lonely. It is really just a state of your mind and how you feel. If you are a widower or you are older and you do not plan on getting remarried, that loneliness itself can be temporary as well. There are so many ways to get involved in your community and to embrace your loneliness. So one of the ways that I embrace my loneliness is I try and be as active as possible. That goes for going to workout classes, being involved in my parish, and just seeing my family as much as possible. I know some people, you move for a job, you're not able to go home and see your family any Friday night that you have nothing going on. And I am so sorry for that. But you know what you can do? You can go out and make friends. I know this sounds really hard to do, but you can do that. I play Pokemon Go. I go out and meet friends playing Pokemon Go. I journal. I ask Jesus. Pray for friends. This is so huge. You can actually pray for friends to meet a spouse. That's okay to ask big requests of God. So take, for example, my aunt. She's in her late 80s. She is a widow. She lives by herself. She doesn't want to live in an assisted living facility or in a nursing home or anything like that. Even though there would be a great community there, that's not for her. Okay, that's not for her. All of her friends, unfortunately, are starting to pass away. So she went to her pastor and said, how can I get involved in this church? You know what she now does? Every Sunday after Mass, she's one of the women who goes in the back and counts the money. All right? That was a great way for her to meet people, gives her a job to do, gives her a little sense of community, a little sense of pride. Don't be afraid to go to your pastor and say, hey, how can I get involved in this parish? You can go to another parish. There is no shame in parish shopping. So for example, I live in this beautiful neighborhood where there's churches like literally every 5 feet. The churches by me, there's like not a lot of young adults my age. So I go to a parish in another town. The other parish is literally 2 miles from my apartment. Like, churches are on top of each other. I go to a parish in another town and I am super involved in that parish, and that parish has a lot of people in their 20s and 30s, so I'm more comfortable there. So don't be afraid of going to a parish where you feel more comfortable, where the people are your age, where you're just gonna get along and get more friends. It's crucial. Yes, I'm super involved in Catholic groups and I make a lot of Catholic friends, but you don't always have to have just Catholic friends. I have joined like Zog sports leads and made friends through that. Totally great. I really recommend making friends with people your own age. That's just what works for me. I don't necessarily have a lot of friends who are like way older than me or anything like that. Most of my friends are around my age. It just works for me. So that's how I combat my loneliness in that way. One of the big things, especially if you're coming out of a relationship, is at the end of the day you have no one to talk to. And it's sad because you do want to share your day with someone. And so I sort of have a list of people that I call. I really try and go through that list. I don't want to try and call my friend every single day, especially if that friend is married or in a relationship or they're busy or something else. Don't be afraid to go through the list of your friends and call them. I really think talking on the phone is huge when it comes to loneliness. Talking on the phone and having someone else on the other end of that line is great, especially when your friends move away, you don't hear from them as much. Don't be afraid to call them. It's only temporary though if you make it temporary. Get involved. Get out of your own head and just live. I'm sorry if you are lonely. If you are not lonely and you just watch this YouTube video for fun, pray for your friends that might be lonely. If you are lonely, pray for your friends. Take all this beautiful time that you have and give it to God and pray for your loved ones. I'm so happy right now to be a single 28-year-old woman and to have all this time to just pour back into the people I love. And I don't do it enough. I need to do it more. All right, you guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss one of my videos. And can you let me know in the comments below, how do you deal with your loneliness? Are you lonely? Are you escaping? Is that why you're on YouTube right now? Are you escaping? Are you scrolling through media in the middle of the night because you just can't be alone with your own thoughts? This too shall pass, but only if you make it happen. All right, you guys, I love you. I'll see you next week. Bye.